Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever in Larissa Williams' history, we are sentencing, you guessed it, not one character, not one BFDI character for the bad stuff they did, but three! Starting with Nickel. Wait a minute, I don't really think Nickel has done anything. So I guess Nickel is free to go. Next up we have Leafy. You know what? Every bad thing that Leafy has done was either on accident or was done because she's had enough. People at this point, I think the reason why she became evil in the first place was because people were being mean to her back. So you know what? I'm not sentencing Leafy for anything. And plus, people have been going on about Gelatin being a child, but I looked it up on Google and it said that Leafy was the youngest character, meaning that she's a child too. So you know what? Leafy is free to go. Free to go. And if anybody tries to argue with me in the comments, well then see yourself out, because I'm not sentencing Leafy today. A character that I will sentence, however, is Flower. First off, she starts off the show with kicking Ice Cube, which is assault, which can get her a month in jail if Ice Cube didn't die. Flower just pushed Fiery and Golf Ball. I'm not concerned about everyone else going into the water. Just Fiery and Golf Ball. But still, it was a part of the challenge to push each other off the balance beam. Even if they did die, so I'm not going to charge Flower for that. Then he just pushed Eraser. She just pushed Eraser. That's another assault charge. 1 month. Then she encourages Blocky to murder Bubble. Even though Flower wasn't the one who did the murdering, she still encouraged it. So that's life in prison this time. Then she threatens to crush the announcer with her so-called announcer crusher, who the only person she seemed to almost crush was Golf Ball. But honestly, the announcer kind of deserves this, so I'm not going to sentence her for this. The way she just straight up violated Bubbles' cake was wrong. But not wrong enough to get a sentence. And plus, she seems to be really mad, so she's getting sentenced with anger management class. Yep, she's going to anger management school. But that doesn't mean I'm dropping all of her charges just for that. She's still getting life in prison. And then she threatened all the viewers to crush them. I don't know how the viewers fell for this, but they did, so Flower, for mass corrosion, Flower is getting life in prison. If I were mean, I would have given her the death penalty. But I don't do that. And if I could keep track of fines, I'll make her pay money. So I either do jail or something else that I can keep track of. And then she threatens to stretch those same people, if she didn't rejoin. So that's life in prison again for mass corrosion. And then she threatens to twist them if they voted her to get eliminated once she came back. Life once again. Man, what's going on with kids shows now? Usually, they just be like, I'm gonna crush you. But the way Flower threatens people is way worse. But then she destroys a whole bridge all over a bug. Wait a minute. What am I talking about? Some all over a bug. I'm talking about some just a bug. If anything, I understand why Flower's afraid of bugs, so I'll give her a pass on this one. Because plants do eat bugs. But then Flower slaps Leafy, all just because she wouldn't give her a high five. Then she murders the finalist multiple times. For the assault charge is only going to get 1 month. While on the other hand, the mass murder charge is getting life in prison. Then in the finale, she destroys every recovery center, which takes away everyone's chances at coming back to life. So Flower's getting life in prison for that. Now we have to skip to BFDIA, where she tries to murder Gelatin. Gelatin! Oh yeah, and how did I not mention the child murder for Leafy and child abuse when she slapped Leafy? You know what? Every time she abuses a child in any way, it's gonna be worse. Well, except for child murder. Child murder is gonna get life in prison, just like regular murder. But since I can't really tell the difference between voluntary manslaughter or involuntary manslaughter, other than voluntary manslaughter is manslaughter that is intentional, manslaughter overall is unintentional. So even if it seems like voluntary manslaughter to you, I'm just gonna count it as second degree murder or first degree. You know, I'm just gonna go with murder. But anyways, Flower throws bug eggs, even though the announcer was the one who didn't destroy the bugs in season 1. Flower was the one who started it. But I didn't think Flower knew these were bug eggs, so she gets a pass on this. But, hold up, I just forgot. I just forgot that she tried to murder Gelatin with a bug. So you know what? Life in prison. And then, not only that, when we get to season 4, she threatens to crush Black Hole if he doesn't open a jar for her that has pills in it. Literal pills. Who would want that as a treasure? And then she threatens to crush Ruby, talking about some why I oughta, and then stops herself once Ruby calls her beautiful. Flower's just overall evil. Honestly, have no idea how people like her more than Leafy. Because Flower does not have any reason to be her evil self, unlike Leafy does. You know what? At this point, Flower's done some pretty messed up things. So you know what? Flower just gets life in prison for everything that she's done. Last but not least, we have every other character. Since there's too many characters to count from, I'm just not going to sentence any of them. And every other character is free to go. And now I have sentenced everyone. Well, except for X. Well, I'm going to save for another episode of sentencing BFDI characters for the bad stuff they did. And as for any new characters, they're free to go as well. You know what? X is free to go as well. So you know what? Now I've sentenced everyone. I'll do a tier list and upload it on my community post the next time I do one. And I'll let you know the next time I do a Hot Wheels movie.